One of the most important maintenance procedures which you can do on your bike is the drive chain slack inspection and adjustment. We are very lucky to have access to the service manual for the Transalp 750, so we're gonna start with the theoretical part and afterwards we're gonna adjust the chain. First of all, it's very important to keep in mind that you never inspect or adjust the drive chain while the engine is running. We have to do a slack inspection. Turn the ignition switch off, support the motorcycle on its side stand, so we're speaking about the side stand, not the center stand, and shift the transmission into neutral. Some recommends that you switch the transmission into the first gear because you usually ride the bike into the first gear, but let's follow the steps provided by the service manual. Measure the drive chain slack at the position shown in the illustration. Let's take a look at the illustration. We have the upper part of the chain. We have to pull the chain and then make the measurement as presented here. Pull the upper half of the drive chain up and check the chain slack between the drive chain and swing arm at the end of the drive chain slider. We have the slider in this position. We have to see where it stops, and there we're gonna start to measure between the swing arm and the upper part of the chain. The drive chain slack should be from 50 up to 55 millimeters. There is also a notice excessive chain slack 60 millimeters may damage the frame. Let's move to the actual adjustment. We have all the steps provided here. Support the motorcycle and raise the rear wheel off the ground. We have to loosen the rear axle nut and drive chain adjusting bolt lock nuts. We're speaking about the big rear axle nut, which is impossible to miss. It has 27, you need to use a 27 millimeter key, and then we will go to the bolt lock nuts, which are these ones, the bigger ones, just to have a simple image. I'm doing this tutorial for myself as well, just to remember the steps. The next step is to turn the drive chain adjusting bolts on both sides at equal number of turns until the correct drive chain slack is obtained. On the video, I'm gonna show you a shortcut just to make sure that you have the rear wheel perfectly straight, but let's not get into the next part of the video and continue. Make sure that the index marks which we have here at number 4 on both adjusting plates are on the same position index line on both axle holders. These index marks are offering us some information regarding the chain's life. We have to tighten the rear axle nut to the specified torque, which is, by the way, 100 Newton meters. Turn and sit the drive chain adjusting bolt snugly against the adjusting plate. Hold the drive chain adjusting bolts and tighten the lock nuts to the specified torque. The lock nuts, they say the torque should be 27 Newton meters. Although it's pretty difficult to introduce here torque, we have to recheck the drive chain slack and free wheel rotation. Check the drive chain wear indicator label attached on the left swing arm. As mentioned before, this is the wear indicator on the left swing arm. If the adjusting plate index marks reaches red zone of the indicator label, replace the drive chain with a new one. Of course, you have to clean and lubricate the chain. First, you have to clean it with a cleaner designed specifically for O-ring chains. Use a soft brush if the drive chain is dirty. Do not use a steam cleaner, high pressure cleaner, wire brush, volatile solvents such as gasoline and benzene, abrasive cleaner, or a chain cleaner not designed specifically for O-rings chains to clean the drive chain. Inspect the drive chain for possible damage or wear. Replace any drive chain that has damaged rollers, loose fitting links, or otherwise appears unserviceable. Be sure the drive chain has dried completely before lubricating. There's also a recommendation for the lubricant, drive chain lubricant designed specifically for O-ring chains or SAE 8090 gear oil. Wipe off the excess oil or drive chain lubricant. Sprocket inspection, pretty important. You should do this. It's very important to recognize normal sprocket teeth, weared teeth, or damage. Sprockets is very important to recognize them. Never use a new drive chain on worn sprockets. Both chain and sprockets must be in good condition or the replacement chain will wear rapidly. If you change the number of teeth on the drive and driven sprockets, Honda selectable toe control may not operate properly. Few words about the drive chain slider. Check the drive chain slider for wear or damage. The drive chain slider must be replaced if it's worn to the wear limit indicator. It has in the upper part, it has a wear limit indicator or the wear limit line, which is we have two wear limit lines on the bottom. Because I have a high suspension and it's pretty difficult to get the rear wheel up in the air like this. I found a solution with these wood piles and I managed to lift the bike in order to adjust the chain. Now I have to loosen up the rear bolt. I've opened the counter. We have the counter washer. We opened, this is the adjustment nut, which we're gonna adjust it accordingly with the one from the other side. But stay until the end because I have a new trick that will help us adjusting perfectly the wheel to be straight. So stick until the end because at the end you're gonna get a free tip for you to adjust perfectly. Let's make the same on the other side. Let's see here. We have here the marker, which is at 1, 2, 3, somewhere here at the end of the green line. Check it out. We have here our values. It should be between 50 and 55 millimeters. So we're gonna try to put it at 50 somehow. What we're gonna do now is to perfectly align the wheel, because if we are pressing the rear brake, we're gonna align perfectly the wheel and the disc brake. The disc brake is perfectly straight and it will align perfectly to the brake caliper. So if we're pressing the rear brake, we're gonna align the disc brake, which is perfectly straight, and also the wheel will be perfectly straight. And we can also verify it with the measurements on the swing arm, but the very good method is to press the rear brake, align the rear wheel perfectly, and then tied up everything back. And here we have everything aligned now. Check it out. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Everything is perfectly aligned now. Now we tied up the counter washer. Okay. I tied it up. Okay. Regarding the measurements, Honda says you should measure in the upper part of the chain at the middle. So we're gonna do this. I've already done it. It's 50, but let me show you how I did it. So we have 50, but we have 50 now when the bike is on the center stand. When I'm gonna sit, it's less. You see, it's less with the 10 millimeters approximately. Depending how much suspension travel do you have, the swing arm will move, the chain will need more slack. Now it's different, check it out. And when I sit on it, so it's the most important to have a range. I will put it to, they say 50 to 55 millimeters. I will put it definitely to 55 or 53. 53 would be nice. 52, 53, just to have it in the middle and have some range between the minimum and the maximum slack.